What is going on, everyone? So today we're going to have a quick documentary. I say quick, but it might be about an hour long, and we're going to break down the ins and outs of things that have changed. Now, I have currently showed you all every step of the way in individual episodes, but today I have sat down and gone through all of my footage from the very beginning to currently right now, where I have put together what I can see to be the story of how the gig economy is changing towards not having cyclists or moped drivers and along them lines, including for taxi drivers. So stick around, make sure and take in everything that you hear, because this is a very serious video. It might seem at times that you're going to hear things from riders that you might have heard previously in the past. A lot of clips you would have seen in the past, but like I said, I'm going to put it all into one and make it make sense for how I see what's about to come.
The operation's going to be, how it's going to shape. There is something called the Public Space Protection Order in place, which is basically antisocial behaviour.
Good, thank you.
Hello, are you okay?
Yeah, not bad.
We're just doing an operation this morning.
I already know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just want to say.
It's only pedal assist.
Is it?
15.5. It's a 250 watt motor.
Sound like you know what you're talking about. Have you got a throttle? Or is it
No, pedal assist only. You've got no push to go, nothing.
Yeah. To be fair, motors 250 watt, is it? Yeah.
There's motors here. All the information on the bike's right there.
Oh, that's that. I'm sure we're all like this. It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Good, thank you.
He knows what he's on about.
Is that all the bikes that got taken today?
Yeah, of course he should.
Yeah, I'm all good, bro. They should have been careful, innit?
They should have insured, but
It's what happens when it's not road legal. Is it going to be crushed now? Yeah. Oh, that's a shame, man. Thank you for your time, bro. Do you know if they're on, by the way?
Huh?
I think that one's on the back there. Yeah. The screen's on. Have a good day. See you later. No way. Sorry, buddy. We just managed to find the bikes being towed away. It's a shame that happened.
but yeah, I think you're trying to be used for a lot of good, because I think there's nothing really wrong with e-bikes. It's the ones that
It's
are
how it's being used, and yeah, of course.
Exactly. So I think it's part of a bigger picture, and that's where the concern comes from. But when it's road legal and people ride sort of in accordance with the highway code, there's no issues.
Yeah, that's it.
And I think if you've got a good platform, you're in a really good position to,
of course, to try and spread a message.
Bit,
but some of them don't really want to hear it. So
people don't like being told.
I tried to say it, but it is what it is at the end of the day.
God bless you, man.
Yeah, of course. You too, Joshua.
Alex,
nice to meet you. Have a good day. Bye-bye. You too. Bye-bye. Imagine that. I am literally out dressed as Ghostface, and they're here doing all the ID checks and everything on riders at this point. Cool, bro. Did you find it? Yeah, cool.
Scooters, because they're a mechanically propelled vehicle.
That's heavy material.
The key of the phrase is a careless riding.
Right.
Because we can't penalise you for being on the pavement.
Okay.
When I'm riding up the pavement as well.
But here's a cycling path, though, ain't it?
Uh,
This section here's a cycling path, no?
Technically,
Because Google Maps says it is.
Technically, it's a paved area.
Okay.
And if you want to go find some ancient law, we're not supposed to ride on the pavements.
Okay. So here's the thing. We were given all of the information. It's just when you actually start to take it all in, you realise that the government had a plan from the very beginning. And their plan was to involve taxes. Now, where does this big word taxes come into play? The issue is, originally, the government was going around and telling the newspapers and everyone else, look, a majority of the people working in the gig economy are illegals. They're not working, they're not paying taxes. We need to do something about this. So the story started to spread, and then we started to have this big issue with the small boats and everything else and all of the rest of it, where it was all being linked towards the gig economy, to Uber, Deliveroo and Just Eat. Now we started to get the stories of 60,000 per person would be the appropriate fine for the people that are caught working illegally. But further down the line, we discovered that that's more than likely not the case. The situation is the government is putting these threats across to make it clear to these companies that you're going to give us access to what we want. Now, when that was done, was originally in 2022, and it continued yearly after that. Now, as one of my latest episodes that came out that you guys would have, or ladies and gentlemen would have witnessed, sorry, you would have noticed that the story was about a gentleman by the name of Mr. P and how he hasn't been doing his self-assessments. Now, with that being said, it's caused an issue.
Yeah, yeah. This take the look. That's there. That's how it is. Yeah. Fuck, you trying to make money, man. Not trying to lose money, fucker. Go home, fucker. Nobody tried to. What happened? Lying, yeah. Because I'm on the phone with my mate, so I'm pretty sure nothing to do with the bike, basically. The guy with the yellow hood. Huh? Swear at my friend say go. I don't give a fuck this stuff. Do you know today's strike? Huh? So today's strike, bro. Shame on you, bro. Shame on you.
Huh? My account is new, bro.
It doesn't matter, bro.
Before I called you. Before I called you. Sorry? You called me? Yeah? I don't understand you, bro. Sorry. Go home, bro.
Well, after seeing some footage from the strikes that took place a few years back, and that wasn't the first time we've seen strikes take place, but the issue there is the strikes continue to get bigger and worse every year. At this last time that we witnessed it, it was things that we witnessed, drivers having issues being able to leave the restaurants because they weren't supporting the strikes. My bigger issue with the strikes was the people that were setting it up and running it aren't a part of the gig economy. They're a company that were brought in for a union, and they made things worse. And if you don't believe me, go back through my videos and check that one out for yourself, because I'm not going to relay that footage again on all their messages. That's just a whole different story by itself. It has nothing to do with this here. But the manipulation within inside of them groups on how they try and bring riders together and suggest to them to block the restaurants, don't let people leave with their orders, is not how things should be handled. Now, what comes next is the development of AI. And the development of AI is something that started 9 years back. They're on their 10th year, and we are watching it release all around the world, not just England, but everywhere. And we're seeing an impact of less jobs, lower prices, and we even had the same story where the CEO of Uber made it clear that he doesn't know what will happen to us. In the next 10 years or so, their operation is to keep adding more and more AI vehicles to keep working the system as it is. And it makes sense. Why does it make sense? Because A, they don't have the issue of people doing all that stupid stuff that we just witnessed. B, they don't have problems of where orders are being stolen by food thieves. I know you guys remember them ones as well. And little weird things like that, right? Obviously, we can witness and go through the videos ourselves, and we can see that a lot of them get the job done. Like this one here is 100% a fake video. But then you have these people that go and vandalize the machines and the robots, sorry, and decide to ride it and damage the orders inside and all the rest of it, which kills the experience for the customer. It kills the whole entire, what's the word, vibe, in other words, you know, and there's no other way to put it. But when we come back to where we now look towards the future, I don't think we have a bright future. And the reason I say that is because AI is capable of doing our jobs. It has the roots, it knows what to do. They're now witnessing that it's capable of doing the job once people don't destroy them. And the bigger issue is that we caused this. We gave them the route to do this because A, people are not paying their taxes. Now the government's asking too many questions, investigating. How do you get rid of that situation? Well, you get rid of the workers. Plain and simple. The workers don't seem to want to listen. They don't seem to want to comply. So what's our next best option? we now have all these news stories about riders like myself and everyone else involved in all of this madness. And a lot of you probably aren't involved, but for the people that were, you know, you have yourself to blame. In due time, we're now up against robots that we can't compete with. That's the God's honest truth. These robots are going to keep food hotter than you, get it delivered safer than you, once it's not destroyed, obviously. And once we start to see them roll out all across the country, the bigger issue is it will become that normal that no one's not going to bother destroy them anymore. Do you understand? And let's be real, why would you? If I'm ordering food, I want it to get to me in one piece, not destroyed. I'd be pissed if my food got to me and it's all battered inside. Yeah, common sense. And we do obviously see sometimes that they get stuck going up and down the pavements. So there seems to be a few things that could be changed around them ways. But I guess we have to see what comes. What comes next is to give you guys a little understanding of how the gig economy works between drivers.
For quite some time, I believe Panda is the best app in the moment. They pay $350 per job for the bikers. And it's a flat fee, but most of the jobs are short and they don't go over 2 miles on bikes.
Okay.
It's hour, so it's per hour, so it's like £10, well, it's like $9.60 I think. Yeah, so you book your shift a week in advance, so you book it, then you do your shift.
In terms of how busy it is, I'd say Uber, because I'm not in Birmingham City Centre, I'm actually up in Solihull.
Right.
So it's a lot busy on Uber, and then towards the evenings it will switch over to Deliveroo, being more busy.
I've been doing it full time.
Sometimes the price on the jobs.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Okay, fair enough.
Not all the time, but
Closer relations between the restaurants and the actual drivers.
Very true.
We don't really have much interaction, and you know, we're the ones working together to bring the orders to the customers.
Right.
I believe the pay has gone down quite a bit.
Yeah.
It used to be, if we're talking around COVID times or prior to COVID times, things were a lot better.
Right.
I think the pay has dropped quite a bit.
And then you get paid the week after.
Weekly, about 45-ish.
I find you get more jobs with Deliveroo because they've got more restaurants.
The experience was good. It's like I met many the customers. So like I did lots of deliveries.
Yeah.
So like, the experience was pretty good. Yeah, there are some experiences are like some of them are good, some of them are worse as well.
I'm not a fan of it, but on the flip side I am, because it stops it being too many riders out at once.
Of course.
But I'd prefer it if I could just get up and go.
So would you suggest that it's better not having the shift or to have a shift?
I think it's better.
Not to have it?
To have it.
I only work central.
Okay, what's the reason for that?
I just think there's more choice of restaurants around you.
I'd say in terms of money, Gopher pays better per job, because I get paid like, I could be getting paid like £16 to pick up a parcel from Screwfix and drop it down the road.
What do you deliver from there?
So Gopher, it will be parcels, so it'd be like Screwfix is one place which is predominantly on there where I am, because I'm near a lot of Screwfixes.
Yeah. Because we used to be Scuba, so we used to get paid hourly. The restaurants knew that, so like they'd leave us behind while they did Uber and Deliveroo orders. Now that's changed, they still haven't clued on.
Right.
So sometimes we'll be stood to the side and they'll be rushing out Uber orders instead.
I found that if I get say a 2 pickup order,
right,
and I've already got the food in my bag, I can get a delay on the second one.
Of course.
Which the food can be going cold and I'm aware of it, because you don't know if you're going to get an unexpected delay with waiting time. So I tend to just do a single orders.
Right.
I do a double, but
I
won't tend not to do it too much. Like.
Now this next part might have a few of you sitting in your seats a bit uncomfortable, because the next part involves digital ID, and I guarantee you a lot of you did not realise that digital ID is coming to the gig platforms before it's going to be given to anyone else. And the reason is because of these stories here that I'm going to pop up on the screen. And you would notice that it's the same thing as what I mentioned earlier on about the small boats. Now the small boats the stories were pushed towards the gig economy. Now if we come over to the computer here, you can see that I'm on the Gov page, and this is where the information is being provided from. Now as we gradually go down all of this blah 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 blah, but let's come down to this section right here. So not only is it to check employees, okay, including across the gig economy. Now, they're specifically saying because there's so many illegal migrants working within the gig economy, this is necessary, which means every other citizen working legally is going to have to do the same thing to be able to keep working in the gig economy. Which, for those people that don't feel comfortable with digital ID, they're more than likely going to say, oh yeah, forget this, I don't want to do that. And then what happens? The AI robots we just watched come into play even faster. Now, me personally, I believe the digital ID is also towards catching people that aren't paying their taxes, because this is all going to link together, I guarantee it. They say it's not. They say it's for your passport, your bank information, and all these other random little bits and bobs that they add in. But let's be honest, that's not true, you know? They quote that it's the same as the NHS application, but the issue there is we witnessed the company that handles that data get hacked, and all them people's personal information was across the dark web. At one point, we went through a stage of where, after I think it was like your first 2 orders, you'd have to do Face ID every single day for every application. And it became annoying to the fact of where, like, you know, it's yourself working, but now you have to prove that it's yourself working. There was also information that was shared across the Gov page that specifically pointed out that if you're a British citizen caught sharing your account with an illegal working in the UK, that you would instantly lose access to any of these platforms, and you're not going to be able to make the money that you would have been making. Well, obviously you weren't making it because you were renting the account out anyway, so... But then you're then left with the tax bill as well, which is the crazy part of all of that. For those that are wondering, yes, it does just play through Chucky non-stop. But right now, we're going to head over to the situation of how e-bikes have now been put in a classification of where it can cause you to catch a life sentence. You heard correct. Now, we previously went through all of these rules and regulations, and you can see it here on the screen. It currently tells you up to a maximum of 5 years in prison, but we already know that the information actually through the Gov page does mention a few more things than just that. It quotes from £1,000 fine to a maximum of 2 years to 5 years. And if you actually did cause death, then you could be looking at a full life sentence, up to 14 to 25 years, depending on how serious it is. Which recently, we've witnessed a story that's hit the media. You guys can go and research this for yourself. I don't really want to have to pull it up on screen. But I'm pretty sure, without even saying exactly what it is, young man on a Suron, we all know where the story's going. But he's now currently looking at a jail sentence, and the only thing this idiot was concerned about was whether he was going on holiday. Doesn't make no sense. But all of this plays up to a big part. Just these common accidents, the fires with batteries, e-bikes, scooters, you name it, all builds up to this whole entire situation that we're all in. Now, why does it play such a big effect? Well, for first things first, if a car hits a cyclist, or a cyclist hits a car, or a cyclist hits a person, all of them incidents are put into the same category, and it's all counted in the same way. So they've been doing that for the last couple of years just to gather up the information so that they know how dangerous the e-bikes actually are on road and how much accidents it is actually causing, which is crazy to think. But yeah, I'm going to be honest, I'm not too sure on what else I should be putting into this video for you all. But gradually over time, we're going to pay attention and see what else happens. And I'll collect that footage together and we'll continue to investigate. But as of right now, for 2026, my prediction is for the next 4 years, Uber, Deliveroo and Just Eat are going to accelerate the way that they put these vehicles out into multiple cities. And we're just going to see it expand and expand and expand. One of the biggest companies that has been shutting down the small high street shops, right, has now actually got access to drones. The first company in the UK, Amazon, are flying these drones everywhere, making deliveries, or not everywhere, but in one part of the UK, I can't remember exactly what part that was, but you can go and research it for yourself and have a look at it. So it's successful, in other words. Now, I believe since 2023, the United Kingdom has had a new airspace that is classified for drones, right? And it's not for me, you, and everyone else. No, this is an airspace lane where you will see things like Royal Mail, Amazon, the NHS for medicine or important documents, even court papers will probably be flying around through the sky. And it's already in process. So we know this is coming. The food industry is also going to join in with the drones, plus the AI vehicles and the AI taxis. We've seen it all in motion. And it all starts off with the whole tax situation. That's my personal opinion. This is where it all started from and where it's building towards. Now, like I said, within the next couple of years, we're going to see what I would say is the final days of gig workers such as myself, Moped, and all the rest of it. And we can also, along the lines that I personally think Lime bikes, because they're city bikes, for someone to be able to have a contract like that, you have to go through the local government, as in i.e. Birmingham City Council, etc, etc, etc. Now, the more they're approved and they're a partnership with Uber, and there's already drivers using these bikes for weekly schemes, monthly schemes, towards deliveries, I have a good feeling that certain cities will eventually ban any other cyclists from riding through unless you're using one of their personal bikes that is modified and restricted to where you can ride and set speed, etc. So we already seen Lime restrict Birmingham from current locations, which I think I might have to make a video on because it's actually a big improvement, including the parking situation. So get ready, that's going to be one of my next episodes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and yeah, like I said, I was going to put it all together in one, and I'm pretty sure I did. Peace.
What's the name of the brand? I'll advertise it.